I think we just forget to appreciate the blessings that we have in our lives. Well, thank you so much for joining us this week. I'm so excited to be here. And I have an introduction today. My dear friend, Ashley.
Hello.
Ashley is my friend and volunteer advisor turning home. And she's basically the one who's kind of inspired me or convinced me or strong-armed me, I'm not going to tell which, to do these podcasts. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm so glad that you decided to do it. I think that you have an amazing message, and I'm really excited about getting this thing rolling,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, you guys have probably, anybody that's followed the first few episodes have heard Ashley because she's been behind the scenes, but rather than have that little silent voice, we thought we'd move her up here with me. So anyway, isn't she beautiful?
You're beautiful, Sandy.
Not bad for an old broad. So. Okay, so we
have
have
it
officially decided that we are going with Sandy Says.
That's going to be the podcast.
Podcast names. So thank you very much. You can tell, how do they find it? Sandy Says on YouTube, or is that what you put in, or what?
Well, Sandy Bauer on YouTube, and then all of the Sandy Says podcasts will be uploaded to your personal YouTube.
Okay.
We'll have like other videos in between, from events that you've done, speaking engagements, all that stuff. We'll upload that to your YouTube channel as well. But all of your podcasts, your Sandy Says podcast, will be uploaded to the YouTube channel. And then you'll be able to find, obviously, the live streams on Facebook, the Sandy Bauer Likes page at The Real Sandy Bauer. And Instagram, go follow at The Real Sandy Bauer on Instagram. And all of the podcast videos will be uploaded to IGTV. And we will share every single podcast, and we'll have a link so you can go and you can listen to them on Spotify, SoundCloud, and all of the big streaming podcast apps.
Okay, so I'd mentioned before on a previous podcast, that the first one I think is that I had at one point decided to write a book. And there is a whole reason why, and it's, more than just to tell my story. I was watching a movie. It came out years ago. It was called In the Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith. It's based on a true story. Mm-hmm. The movie was very well done, and I thought Will Smith did a great job, and his little boy was, his son in the movie was actually his real child, so I thought that was very cool. The story was, I have to nutshell it for those of you that haven't seen it. The story was about a young married couple. They had a 5-year-old son. She was a waitress, and the husband quit his job. He pulled every penny they had, and he bought at a wholesale price this quantity group rate of these machines called this bone scanner density machine. And he was selling or trying to sell them retail to doctor's offices without much success. And so he was not bringing in any income, so his wife was picking up extra shifts waitressing, and it still wasn't enough. And the next thing you know, they're getting evicted. They got eviction notices. They can't pay for childcare, all these things. And the husband and wife are fighting, and she says, I'm leaving. I'm going back home to live with my parents. And he said, fine, you can go, but you're leaving the boy, the son. So the wife leaves. He's with his son. He then gets an opportunity to participate in this internship at Dean Witter. They had 150 interns. And at the end of this, whatever it was, 30 days, 60 day, 90 day, I don't remember, 3-month, 6-month program, one person is going to be awarded this full-time position at Dean Witter, and you would instantly become a millionaire. Like, it's just guaranteed success. So he's still trying to sell these scanner machines that would be his only source of income, and doing this internship where he's not getting paid. They ended up getting evicted. The child care wouldn't take care of him, and daycare wouldn't take care of the little one anymore. And he's dragging this kid around. They're sleeping in subway stations and homeless shelters and all this stuff. And he just would not quit. And the whole movie was based around his persistence and not giving up on his dream, and you just don't quit. Don't quit no matter what. You just keep going. And I mean, he went through so many challenges and difficulties, and it was just heart-wrenching to see, this dad dragging his kid around in the streets, and they're homeless and all these things, right? And the movie was actually upsetting for me because, I was homeless at one point, never homeless with my child, okay, but I was homeless. And then a couple of weeks later, I saw on Oprah the real guy, the real person that Will Smith was playing in the movie. And Oprah is interviewing him, and now, years have gone by since the real time of his challenges to get into this position. So by the time he's on Oprah, he's personally now very successful, very wealthy, and Oprah is basically championing him as like a national hero. And as an inspiration, we should be inspired by this guy's focus and how you too can, win and have the American dream if you just never give up and stay focused. And everybody's applauding and rah rah, and they're just wowed by this story and this gentleman. And at the same time, I am literally screaming at my television because I'm seeing something totally different than what everybody else is seeing. In that, here's a guy that, in my opinion, should have been in jail. I don't know if child neglect is a legal criminal, if that's criminal, but if it isn't, it should be. But any parent who would have done that by choice, okay, that was a decision that he made. He was willing to sacrifice. He obviously sacrificed his marriage, and he sacrificed the safety and security and comfort of his little minor child. He put himself above and beyond everything. And I just thought that was a horrendous message to share as someone we would like to emulate. That's hell no. Hell no. You stay focused. You have a commitment to your family first. I mean, the Bible says women and children, So anyway, that's where I had this idea of I'm going to write a book, and then I'm going on Oprah, and I'm going to set the record straight that this is not someone that you want to be inspired by, really. I mean, I'm a business owner, and I had a young family, and I worked 2 jobs, So that's how it rolls, You want to pursue your dreams. This is the greatest country in the world, and anybody can achieve great success, but there has to be a balance, and priorities.
Yes.
And it's not I will succeed or drop dead trying, and everybody around me can drop dead too. Then where's the value in that? That's nothing to be proud of.
Yeah.
Is kind of my point.
And I actually like how you pulled that from that, because a lot of people that watched that movie felt like, oh my God, he made it out of the rubble. And so when you actually told me that, and it almost was like even my eyes were blind to that scenario.
And every single person, don't feel bad, because every single person I've ever shared that with, I said, hey, do you remember the movie In the Pursuit of Happiness? Oh, yeah. You remember how focused and dedicated? What do you think of that? Oh, I thought it was amazing. What an inspiration. What a great... I don't know. Maybe it's me. Feel free to weigh in if anybody thinks I'm off point. But, I just thought it was terrible.
I think you hit the nail on the head with that one. I really do, because...
So, Oprah, set the record straight. That guy is not a hero. He should be ashamed and embarrassed of what he put his family through in order for him to reap the rewards of his success. And I will bet you $1 to a donut. I've not kept track of this guy. I don't even remember what his name was. But I bet you he's not happy. See, the thing is that, people, and I put myself into this category. I have evolved, for the record, but I spent the majority of my life, I'm 62 years old, a majority of my life pursuing happiness. It was always something that most of us, a lot of us, including me, feels like that happiness has eluded me. Maybe I'm just not worthy or whatever it is. Happiness is right around the corner. If I just stay focused, I'll find happiness. Well, let me tell you something, kids. It's not money. Okay? So money makes it easier, makes life easier. It does. I've been on both sides of that scale. But all the money in the world does not guarantee your happiness. I found eventually, again, the whatever, internal couch time, whatever you want to call it, but that self-study of, why am I not happy? Every time I would reach one of my milestones, okay, well, once I get to this place, I'll be happy. When I get there, I'm not happy. Okay, well, let me move the bar. I got to get now to this place. I'm still not happy. Honest to goodness, the things that bring me happiness, and I think is the biggest problem, is that people forget. It's that perfect, absolute, beautifully brewed cup of coffee in the morning that you smell it brewing, and then the taste, the cream and sugar was, everything was perfect. Stop and appreciate it, and just go, oh, thank you, God, life is good.
Yes.
Or, when my teenage grandson just calls me, I go, hey, buddy, what's up? Just want to call and say I love you, Nana.
Aww.
Oh, really? You think money is going to put a bigger smile on my face than that?
No.
It really is about, what's it? What do they say? Stop and smell the roses or whatever.
Yep.
I think we just forget to appreciate the blessings that we have in our lives. It's not like life is like winning the lottery. Honestly, it's like being on a roller coaster. And so sometimes you're up, and when you're going up, it's slow.
Yeah.
That roller coaster is like slow. Climbing to the top is slow, all right? And then you're just kind of coasting, and then you go on that big dip and spin, and your stomach turns, and the thrill and the excitement, and then you're back down to, we're at a slow point again. I mean, can you imagine if life was just a straight ride coaster? Boring.
Yeah.
Boring.
Where's your happiness in that,
Yeah. There's no ups. You can't appreciate the ups unless you recognize the downs.
Exactly.
Like, oh, yesterday was a terrible day. Why? Because my coffee I ran out of cream, and the coffee was too strong. Ugh. Well, that just kind of ruined my morning cheer, but it didn't ruin my whole day.
Right.
I'm gonna find something. It's just the conscious awareness, I think, is the bottom line. You have to be consciously aware and appreciate those small favors in life.
Definitely.
That's my 2 cents. Please feel free, weigh in. Give me your opinions. Obviously, I mean, I based, and although I did not get to actually write the book, but I had a lot of years. I pondered that, that pursuit of happiness, and I want to see, what everybody else's, opinion or 2 cents is. So, don't forget to hit me up with any messages or whatever. Speaking of, okay, one of the things that we had discussed, so we're going to maybe a little ADD, but I'm changing the subject here. I will be taking questions and answering them on my podcast. So the thing I want to say about that is you can send me instant messages, private instant messages. You can send me an email. You can send me a text message. Or you can wait until every Wednesday at noon and in the comments, just shoot your messages over or your questions over, and Jason will probably be reading them, and I will answer them. I'm just not going to answer anything that's rude or ignorant, but I have no filter, so feel free. In the meantime, any of my team here got any questions?
I remember one time you said to me, you said, in order to help others, you have to be in a place where,
A position of strength.
yes,
Yeah. So my analogy to that is always related back to my days as a roofer. So, 40 some years ago, they didn't have the machine like they do now that will just dump the load on the roof. But 40 years ago, you had to like throw the shingles on your back and hump that up the ladder. And I mean, I could only do a half load, whereas the guys could carry a full load, But that half load was, I weighed 120 pounds then, I mean, I was just a little nothing.
Half the
And
weight than
yeah, I think it was 90 pounds. Half a bundle of shingles was 90 pounds, and I had to carry that up the ladder, and it was
gosh.
terrible, But I was whatever. My point is this: in order for me to help anyone, I have to be in a position of strength. Otherwise, me climbing up that ladder one ring at a time with that weight of my load on my back, I barely made it up myself. But once I climbed that ladder and I could throw that load up, right, it was very easy for me to reach down, and the guys on the ground would, throw up the tool belts. Okay, I could reach down, throw up a tool belt, throw it up on the roof. Reach down, throw up this, So I just use the same analogy. If I want to help a person, we'll say, am I going to put him on my back while I'm carrying my load and climb that ladder? How far are we either one of us going to get?
right,
Right?
not very far.
But when I say, I can climb the ladder and throw my load up there, that means that I am now in a position of strength. So metaphorically, I am now, fiscally strong. I'm, mentally strong. It's a lot easier for me to take on someone else's burden, and be able to carry that. Otherwise, we're all going nowhere fast. So it's one of the reasons why I can't say never, but I hardly ever co-sign for anybody, anything. Okay? I have got to protect my credit, as we all should. It's one of the most important financial aspects that you could ever have is your credit. But, I'm not going to co-sign. I would rather give you the money to pay for the lease or whatever. I'll float you a loan. But I am not going to make myself vulnerable by you ruining my credit, and then I don't want to say house of cards, but my ladder starts falling down or whatever, So always, keep yourself strong and healthy first. It's almost like in the airplanes, put the mask on yourself before you start trying to save other people.
We've talked about some of the things that we're doing. We're doing the garage sale. How do people
June 5th.
donate furniture to that? How do they get a hold of any kind of assistance they want to give to vets returning home? Let's just talk about that first of all. How do people
Well,
get...
you just call, text, or send me an instant message or email. It doesn't matter,
Okay.
you know.
And if
So,
you want to sing, no, if
June
also,
5th, Saturday.
Saturday, June 5th.
you touched on the boxes earlier. How can merchants
9
get
to
their
5?
name or their
10 to
box
5.
on their counter?
Just
to
call
5.
me. Same thing. Call, text, email, instant message. My phone number is 586-216-8510.
The
So-
versatility too, that it doesn't just have to be a mom and pop, or I'm sorry, a convenience store. It could be dentist's office, rent share shops. All people can use these
Auto
boxes.
repair, anything. It doesn't matter. Any place that, and if, it turns out that there's no foot traffic and nobody's seeing the box, after a couple of weeks, we'll pick it up and put it somewhere else. No harm, no foul.
Yeah.
Doesn't cost any of us anything.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and it's
we
really
can all
no-
try. We can all try. It doesn't,
It's no sweat off the business owner's back either because
well, sometimes it is. In that, like a small gas station, their counter space is so limited. That is
yes.
valuable real estate, and I understand that. So when you do allow us to host a box on your counter space, I appreciate the sacrifice that you're making.
Yes.
So now some businesses have massive amount of space, and it's no big deal. you know.
But that's why you got those little itty bitty boxes too.
I got the little ones so that we're not taking up a big
Yeah,
footprint. So
yeah.
by 6.
So it is like awesome that the business owners are doing that, but it's kind of like a hassle-free type of way to help the veterans.
support, yes.
Yeah, because you know, I mean, Len will go and she'll drop it off, and then we're gonna have a route where they're getting picked up. You know,
Yep.
so really,
Yeah, we have Lynn and Bob are my 2 volunteers that are helping me place the boxes right now. So yeah.
How much hassle is it for a business owner? What do they have to do when the box is on their counter?
nothing,
Boom.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just host it, have it on their counter.
If they want to go
But
the
yeah,
extra
the
mile.
counter space I do get because sometimes, you know, like you'll go into a place and they only have like this big of a counter, so it's like, where are they gonna put it, you know?
Right.
How about the supporting partner program? Anybody interested in that? How can they get?
That's what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to say that, you know, I'm a business owner myself, and I, you know, I have an e-commerce store, and I joined the supporting partner program, and it's just a small contribution every single month, and it's literally, I don't even notice it going out, but for me to be contributing that, it's, you know, I'm making a difference. So I think that if a lot of business owners made that small contribution, it could make a huge difference for vets returning home.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I'm even
And
grateful.
that information is on our website. So, you know, if you're interested in, you know, you want to go to our website or call me. I would love to talk to you about what we can do together.
Yeah.
So,
And it's an awesome program too, because you're giving the business owner an opportunity to get their business name and logo out there just for joining the program. So
Right.
it's another way of them.
it is
you
definitely
know.
a win-win.
It's a
I'm happy
win-win.
with it. We've had some pretty good success so far. I think now we've been at it for about 2.5 months, maybe 3 months, and I think it's up to about $1,500 a month, maybe 18, something like that. So anyway, it was very cool. My very dear
That's
friend,
great.
I'm only going to give his first name, Joe, watched my podcast last week, and he called me during the week, and he said, I want to do $200 a month. I'm like, and I honestly, I mean, I said to him, are you sure? Because I you know, I know so many businesses, so many people are so generous that they know that they need to help vets returning home, but I just wanted to make sure that he wasn't being over generous and cause himself, you know, problems too. But he assured me that was fine. And thank you so much, Joe. You are awesome. But yeah, I mean, we're talking about you know, on our website, the amounts are 25 to 100.
Yeah.
Right. So he just doubled my max amount. It was very cool.
That is very cool.
So
Yeah.
I was going to ask you next about the merchant accounts and have you explain a little bit about that. I mean, we've touched on quite a few ways that people can help, and there's absolutely, I believe, no excuse for not doing something.
yeah, I covered all of that last week. So everyone knows my company is donating 100% of any new business where we set up the credit card processing. So call me on that too as well. So
And then
very cool.
can we wrap things up with, I just want to ask you, so your pursuit of happiness,
Yeah.
what is your like driving horse to your pursuit of happiness?
Well, first of all, I wake up every morning and I thank God. And throughout my day, when I enjoy that perfect cup of coffee, I do. I say, thank you, God. Because I know that it could have went the other way, you know. Going home and looking, I have 2 of the most adorable little dogs, you know. But to just go home and hang out with my dogs and you know, watch them run and play, and that makes me happy. So I guess, you know, I'm not going to say that I've arrived. I think that when you've gotten to that end destination, then game over. What else is there, right? I'm not saying that. I will always strive for new depth or whatever in my life, new direction. I'm never content of just being, you know, sitting idle. But it's the journey that I enjoy. the journey that I appreciate, the ups and the downs. I'm not saying, I thank God when, that rock hit my windshield and, now I got to get a new windshield on my Jeep. Those are things that happen. But, and sometimes we'll be like, really, why? Why me? I've been such a good girl. Why did this happen to me? But the journey itself, the overall big picture of the journey is where you find your happiness.
And you help so many people though, too. So along the way, and that's gotta be a factor in your happiness too. I mean, helping people, does it fulfill you, or?
It doesn't make me happy. And let me explain. Because most of the time, the people that I'm helping brings me to tears.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There's situations, the circumstances that they're in is heart-wrenching at times. So it's not a joyful.
Maybe the turnaround
will
bring you joy?
I guess, it's seeing the success,
Yeah.
of my efforts. Obviously, yes, that's very rewarding and, but it doesn't, that part doesn't, it's a different thing than watching my dogs run around and play
That's
in the
true.
house and stuff, that makes me smile. That makes me, makes life fun, if you will. My work is not fun. This is not a fun thing. It's fulfilling, it's rewarding, but it's hard as hell. It's the most challenging, endeavor I've ever undertaken. And, but again, the most rewarding. So it is a big part of, I guess looking at when we think about our lives, I look at end of life. I think about, my eulogy. What would people say about me? And that's what I would want them to say is how I try to lead my life,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not delusional. I know that not everybody likes me, and not everybody would get up there and say nice things,
It's hard to believe though.
Me too.
No,
Because the second I met you, I instantly was like in love with you. I know. Maybe I'm biased, but I don't know.
Well, I've stepped on toes, and first of all, I've been young, and made bad mistakes. We've all
Yeah.
have regrets, and I've done things. My disclaimer is not many, but I've done things that I'm not proud of or whatever. I've hurt people's feelings, whether intentionally or unintentionally. There are times that I can duke it out with the best of them, And when I win, those people don't usually like me afterwards. But, here and there, you just lead with your heart in the right place. And, you got to look at yourself in the mirror, So as long as I like who I see in the mirror in the morning, I'm good, So, that acknowledgement from others, it's nice, but that's not what should motivate anyone.
Right.
This is that look internal, So all the money in the world, are people going to like and respect you because you're a big shooter with a bunch of money? Some of the biggest idiots I know are loaded.
Yeah.
And I promise you, if what they see in the mirror in the morning, I doubt they're looking deep enough in those eyes, But then again, I know some extremely wealthy people that are just amazing, And honestly, those two different types of people, those amazing, extremely wealthy people, they're not amazing because of their wealth. They're amazing because of what they've done with it. It's who they are,
Mm-hmm.
And I would bet you those people, if you had a scale, those people are the ones that are happier.
Mm-hmm.
Those that are making a difference in their communities and in their church and their, whatever, good parents and good employers and things like that. So.
Yeah.
Your point about people finding their own, like the guy from Pursuit of Happiness.
Mm-hmm.
everybody can see it from their own perspective and say that I really like this guy. He did this for his kids, but you, on the other hand, can see it in a different perspective. You don't like that guy. He put his kids at risk. He, you know, so again, how people look at you is just based on that perspective.
Yeah. And some of it's valid and some of it isn't. But that's with all of us. So awesome. Very cool. Thank you all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Sandy.
I'm going to look for those questions. I better have some questions.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I might be like stuck next week. So send me some questions. And I'm going to be having a guest speaker too, hopefully next week. But maybe not. We'll see.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and spread the word. Spread the word and share this all over as much as you can.
Please.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to get a following built up for this, and eventually, hopefully, we can start generating some, you know, monetization from this, which would be like a residual income. So
In case I get hit by a bus, we all know that that's like
it can all go to
my
Vets Returning
coined
Home.
phrase. Sandy Bauer is afraid she's going to get hit by a bus.
Oh no, no.
I just want to make sure that Vets Returning Home is okay in the event that I get hit by a bus. So help me build this.
Yes, share it all over the place.
Yeah.
You
Before we
know.
wrap up this, you want to give a quick shout out to Judgy Wedgie, Fred Mester?
Is Judge live on there?
He's on there.
Hi, Judge. My favorite veteran in the whole world, Judge Fred Mester. Huge cheerleader for Vets Returning Home. And thank you to the Oakland County Bar Association for all you do for Vets Returning Home and my veterans. I mean, individual veterans, not just the program. So you guys all rock. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Well, I'm so happy that everybody is participating and encouraging me to continue to do this. So thank you so much. And, you know, from these videos, I just want to know, like during the week, I got calls about, you know, setting up merchant accounts, you know, the credit card processing where I donate all of the
Awesome.
proceeds to Vets Returning Home. Got a couple of those calls. Got a couple calls about, you know, being able to host our donation box. Got a few calls about the upcoming rummage sale with furniture and volunteers and things like that. Also, did we I think we have decided to cancel the car wash at the rummage sale. Am I correct?
Yes.
Only because that parking lot is not big enough for traffic to pull in, wash the cars, turn around, accommodate other people. I want to use the parking lot to pull things out of the facility for the rummage sale, so they'll be like displayed in the parking lot, and people won't be like crammed in trying to dig through, because that place, the inside, I don't know if you've been in there, Ashley, it's packed.
Yeah.
It's packed.
I actually got that piece of furniture from there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yep.
That's
yep.
right.
I made a donation and I picked up a piece of furniture for the
Yeah,
studio.
that was
space.
awesome. And Keith loves it too, right?
Keith loves it.
That's great.
Yeah, and then we're still gonna have the bottle drive. So if you have bottles and empties, bring them over. We're gonna
Perfect.
have the 50-50 raffle.
Yep.
We'll have hot dogs and chips and pop for sale.
And a bake sale.
A bake
Oh yeah,
sale.
I did get, you know, a few people had hit me up and said that they were baking and bringing
possibly karaoke.
possibly karaoke,
We'll see.
maybe.
We'll see.
Well, Jason just said he's in, but Jason is the one that I kind of lean on to get the karaoke machine.
Well, I got
So-
to test the equipment.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're gonna sing. If we get the karaoke machine, Jason is gonna sing. My son's gonna sing too, and Ashley. I heard
geez.
you're a karaokeer, and her husband Keith.
Yeah.
So you know we'll have some
long
talent
time
there.
ago.
So come and join us. Anything else? I think we're probably good. Have a great week. We'll see you next Wednesday.